Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. This is Channel Vision editor Gerald Baldino here, and today we're very excited to feature SkySwitch for a webinar on leveraging a VoIP platform as a service partner and how it can help maintain client ownership and generate ROI. Joining us today is Ben McAlindong, who is Director of 3CX Channel at SkySwitch. If you have any questions during the presentation, please submit them through the Q&A portal located at the bottom of the Zoom platform. A Q&A session will take place at the end of the webinar. At this point, I'd like to turn the webinar over to Ben to begin. Ben?
Hi, everybody. So I just have my contact information up here real quick. Just want to introduce myself. I've been with SkySwitch for a little over a year and really excited about managing this channel. I came over from 3CX, which is my big background on this call here. As you can see, again, my contact information is here. So let's move on. So topics of discussion today are going to be focused around the partnership with 3CX and SkySwitch, but mainly on how do you generate revenue? Where do you really need to focus? Are you late to the game with VoIP and UCaaS? As a partner or brand new partner within this industry, are you going to build it or are you going to seek partnerships? And the big topic of discussion today is going to be commission versus ownership. Now, when you take a look at this slide here, it's very telling. A lot of resellers who try to enter the market really see the top of an iceberg and really say, hey, here are the components I need. But really, after talking to a lot of resellers who want to get into the market, whether they be an MSP or a shop that's been really focused on network, they really overlook a lot of the topics of discussion. One is true ownership. You know, you really need to own your customer, right, versus giving your customers to vendors who then have that relationship. The other component is carrier network, right? A lot of that is overlooked where folks rely on their partners thinking that, hey, you know, things are going to be great. But you really got to take a look at how the partner actually delivers the carrier network, telco portion of it. Geo redundancy falls in the same topic of discussion. You know, what does the back end look like, right? For SkySwitch, we'll kind of mention this. We have 4 data centers that are all geo redundant. The other topic that really is a pain point for most resellers within this industry is the billing platform compliance, right? Who takes care of that? Who owns that? Do you bill directly? Do you, offer your services to another vendor who then bills your customer? And then, of course, quality of service management, right? Does your platform give you the ability to self-diagnose the situation, or do you have to put a ticket into your partner, right? Other things that really come up a lot is support, right? You know, who really supports your customer? Is it you as a partner? So these are things that you really got to take in consideration when you're looking at an overall VoIP or UCaaS practice, right? Again, getting the IP PBX from 3CX is one portion of the equation. You need the other components. And again, the question to most of you guys is, are you going to build it yourself with maybe 5 or 6 different vendors, or are you going to choose a partner like SkySwitch that can really bring everything to the table, right? Taking that 3CX component or an IP PBX component, adding SkySwitch to really deliver the overall customer experience. Now, one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about is revenue growth focus. What we see a lot in this industry are resellers that have been traditionally been very technical and really focus in on the back end, but really don't have a good grasp as far as how to grow the business, right? Meaning that they're very sound technically, but have no idea how to go out there and be competitive within the marketplace. They do a very good job today because they have friends, families, folks who are referrals, but their vision is to really grow, right? One of the things that we always say is, when partners come to us is, what makes you guys successful? Well, we're successful because our partners are successful, right? We've got a really nice roadmap towards success. And one of the biggest things that I always see that really turns a conversation around into a positive note is trying to get the reseller to focus away from the technical aspect and focus more on solutions, right? If you can come and have a solutions conversation versus a technical, I think you'll understand as a reseller how to grow your business, okay? Most folks that come into this industry, you know, whether they're large MSPs again or small one or two man shops, they're always asking, are we late to the game? Absolutely not. Right now at this time of moment where, you know, the world is in a situation with COVID, you're seeing a lot of folks going remote, right? This is the best time to get into it. But, you know, what is the trajectory at in the future? As you can see on my screen, by 2015, $55 billion is the number we're looking at. So absolutely, there's no time but the better time to jump into this industry. One of the things that we always see is if you're doing networking today, you know, why would you need to add VoIP, right? Well, you need to add VoIP because one day, you know, if you don't have the UCaaS or VoIP component in your repertoire, you could have a competitor come in and offer VoIP, and then that gives an ability to, you know, offer other services, and that could be a churn issue on your side, or vice versa, right? Maybe you're trying to get into and win that large networking opportunity, but you use VoIP to get in, right? So as we go through these slides, you'll understand, you know, now's a great time if you're not in the industry to jump in and or maybe retweak how you guys go to market. One thing that we always address every day when I'm talking to new resellers is, do I build my own practice or do I partner with organizations like SkySwitch, right? The biggest thing is the fear of missing out, FOMO, and the chance, right? Do I go out and chance it and try to reinvent the wheel? Or do I go to a partner like SkySwitch who has all the performance, has all the collaboration, has all the support needed, where it's almost a plug and play? Think about, you know, if you guys are going out and looking at opening up a business, is it one where you want to build it from the ground floor up, or is it one where maybe you want to take a look at a proven franchise, right? So the ROI model can go both ways. You know, I know organizations that have started small and built their way up, right? But it's taken a lot of time and effort. If you don't have the resources or the time and effort to put into building an organization, you're better off looking for folks like SkySwitch who can actually come in and from, you know, day one really make your practice very profitable, right? The end of the game is one, we want to make sure that you guys have a good roadmap into what you want to try to achieve. If it's a roadmap where you're trying to build your practice and one day sell the organization, absolutely, you know, you want to really focus in on a tried and true proven partnership. We've got a really nice roadmap where we bring on partners, we onboard them. As long as you actually follow the success path that we've laid out for over 600 partners, right, nationwide, then I think you should be very, very successful, right? The only thing that we can't do for you guys is for, you know, to push you guys to go out there and open opportunities. If you want us to actually help you sell, part of our organization is with you. We're actually working in behalf of you when we're actually talking to your customers. Now, one thing that I see a lot of today is a lot of, whether you're a small organization or even larger organizations that I've seen, I've actually spoken last week to several very large 3CX partners, and they're actually doing a fantastic job with their practice. But what they have issues with is trying to understand, where can I make more margin? So they're basically giving their SIP trunk away to you know, a partner, and that partner or that vendor actually has a relationship with their customer and they bill them directly. So, you know, they're currently, you know, raking in probably 10 or 20% commission on that. But where they're missing out is taking full ownership and utilizing a platform like SkySwitch to really increase that 10 or 20% to 60 to 80% profit margins. And more importantly, they have full ownership of the relationship, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is offload your customer to a vendor, and you never know if that vendor is going to go direct with the customer or maybe change their business model. You want to take full ownership, build your own monthly recurring revenue. That actually increases your business evaluation when you go and either sell your company or merge with another organization. That's what's going to quickly build your value of your organization. Again, think about it. If you are giving away your SIP trunk, right? What are you missing out on, right? The biggest thing that I can really portray to you guys is this industry has seen a huge increase in adoption for VoIP, but what we're seeing here is where do we make money? Because there is so much competition out there. You've got to understand, where can I really increase my efforts, and is it feasible for me to really increase my growth if I'm just consistently getting 10 or 20%, right? So again, ownership is the biggest thing I can portray to you guys on this slide here. Now, one thing that I do want to portray to you guys is with SkySwitch, if you look at this slide, we've all come from 3CX. So Michael McIntosh from the onboarding specialist, right? He's a certified advanced engineer. Myself, I used to be a business development manager for 3CX for many moons. Fareed and Yasin are both VoIP engineers who supported North America. So, with the advent of SkySwitch becoming a 3CX solutions provider, they came in and really brought over some talent that has really helped out not only existing SkySwitch resellers, but also 3CX partners who really are intrigued about what SkySwitch is doing, okay? So again, I put this up here to say, hey, we're just not turning on the doors and saying, hey, we're open for business. We're saying we are open for business, but we also have the experience needed to support your cause, right? I myself am focused in on daily talking to partners, new resellers that are wanting to join, but also at the same time, I'm also helping close opportunities when those partners need me to come in and present and help your cause. Again, Michael McIntosh, as a brand new partner, he will actually walk you through training and certification, and also hold your hand through the first several partners that you bring on board. So we just don't give you the keys and say good luck, let's see what happens. We actually give you the best experience by walking you through the process. And on the back end, again, Fareed and Yasin have been proven asset commodities for 3CX in the past. We definitely are happy to welcome them onto the SkySwitch teams to support our customers that currently do SkySwitch, but also are focused in on 3CX deployments, okay? So I wanna go ahead and pause here and address any questions. I'll keep this slide up here.
All right, fantastic. Thank you for the great presentation there. Let's open the floor up to Q&A. To kick things off, what makes SkySwitch more attractive than some of the other competitors in this space?
Yeah, great question. So one of the unique things that the leadership at SkySwitch has done when they looked at the 3CX partnership is what can we do differently than our competitors? Yes, we sell SIP trunks. Yes, we sell telco. We actually put everything together into one platform, from telco provisioning, porting, ordering equipment, ordering 3CX licenses, all in one portal. So that keeps everybody from going to 5 or 6 different resources. So we really have consolidated the practice, and it's been a very smooth transition from, again, reaching out to several partners versus now using one resource and portal.
Perfect, thank you. Just a reminder to submit any questions you have through the Q&A portal at the bottom of the platform here. Next question up. Wondering if you could elaborate on SkySwitch's relationship with 3CX a bit for us.
Yeah, great. When I was working at 3CX, the leadership group came over and said, "Hey, we have a lot of resellers who want our SIP trunk certified." During that process, Eric and the team actually got their trunk certified, but at the same time, they became what 3CX deems a solution provider. As long as you can provide trunking, licensing support to our 3CX resellers, there are a handful of solution providers out there that do a fantastic job. One of the things that we don't do is we never compete with your customer because we're wholesale only. So more importantly, when you're out there seeking help like a SkySwitch, just make sure that you don't have issues with your partner reaching out to the same client you're looking at. So again, wholesale only, and we are a titanium solution provider for 3CX today.
Thanks, Ben. And what is the ideal SkySwitch reseller profile?
So we have a lot of folks who are one or two man shops, like I mentioned, but we also have large MSPs. A good majority of them are focused in the SMB and mid-market space, have a good amount of current seats they currently manage. But when we're out there looking and or have folks inquiring, they currently have existing partners that they've actually, again, try to put together and are looking for a more consolidated partner.
Excellent, excellent. And wondering if you could name something that VoIP resellers tend to struggle with that keeps them from transitioning from being good to being great.
Good question. So I think personally, from my perspective, talking to partners on a daily basis, a lot of them are very technically sound, but they really need to take that next step and pull away from what they know best to go, really increasing their knowledge on sales and marketing. I think, the referrals, the friends and family revenue is great, but in order for them to take the next step, I think focusing on, how to expand instead of saying, hey, I just want to focus my efforts in this one city or county. Let's take a look at maybe doing multiple counties, and the next step is multiple cities, and go nationwide, right? Because VoIP here, as most know, is once you get a grasp of it, it's a very easy deployable solution, but it actually can be really advantageous if you actually look beyond your current scope of area that you market today. I mean, again, most that have really focused in on the local community have really gained more revenue by looking outside of the community than looking outside the state. So again, I think if I were to narrow it down, I think they struggle with more sales and marketing.
Okay. And aside from UCaaS, does SkySwitch offer any additional solutions?
Yeah. So the platform is very unique where, one of the things that we do, and most people say, how are you guys built? So we operate and manage our own soft switch, right? And we basically almost carve out a portion of that soft switch for you guys. We white label it. And instead of you guys investing $250,000 and bringing in headcount, we kind of do that for you. So it's almost a turnkey, right? But outside of what most folks know us for, which is UCaaS, we also have an IP-based security component called Cam Command, and we have some really neat marketing tools that that really can take your business from good to great, right? Again, the marketing tools are one where, if you had a car dealership that's looking for campaigns that when people call in, they say, hey, I want to, have more information on a Camaro. Well, that bot can actually send you details about that Camaro automatically without any human intervention. Medical practices, if they want to send reminders for appointments, right? Those components there outside of just voice can be added on to your current UCaaS system. that really helps your cause. Similar to the IP security component, CAM command, that is just another stackable item that you can put on top of the platform that can really expand your business. Again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We've done pretty much all of the legwork. It's just a matter of adding another component on top of your platform.
Excellent, thanks. We did have a question that came in about average partner profit margins. Is that something you'd like to address here?
Yeah. So if you guys talk to me, and a good majority of you guys that have been engaged with me, I have a really beautiful partner calculator that we can plug in numbers. Hey, I got 10 users. I got need this many seats, this many DIDs. When we do that calculator, that typically starts out anywhere from 60 to 80%. If you want to get aggressive because maybe you have their networking side, you can adjust the numbers and bring it down. A good majority of the organizations I speak with say that, hey, I'm going to give this calculator to my sales organization. As long as you don't fall below 60%, they can adjust the numbers accordingly. So back to your question, typically 60 to 80% is the profit margins for our partners nationwide.
Fantastic. And we also have another question here about integrations. Do you have any integrations with Microsoft Teams or Autotask or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a lot of integrations in the most popular off-the-shelf CRMs like Salesforce and such. Microsoft is one that's been very interesting. We do have a component. I would highly recommend reaching out to me and the team to talk about that. But yes, we have a really nice integration into Teams, where most organizations today that are moving to Teams will miss a lot of the PBX functionality. So the feedback is, hey, we like Teams, but we loved our PBX. Can we keep both? Yes. So we have a component that sits in between the PBX and Teams that collaborate, right? The two systems. And the nice thing about that situation is that you keep your revenue for UCaaS intact, and then you satisfy your customer because they can still keep Teams, because that's their path towards unified communication for the future, right? So again, yeah, we definitely have opportunities where we have integrations. If you are a ConnectWise shop, a great example, we have a biller that integrates really well with ConnectWise. So highly recommend reaching out to me and the team and figuring out exactly how we could help you with any kinds of integrations like what I just mentioned.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And moving along here, next question. What are your minimums or contract lengths, and how have they been impacted during COVID?
To answer that question, great question. So we do have some minimums for two different platforms. One platform is what we call the 3CX or IPPBX platform. That is basically utilizing our telco and SIP trunks, right? Because you already have your IPPBX like 3CX. And then there's another platform, which is our hosted platform, which you can do both SIP trunks and hosted. I can get into that if you reach out to me. As far as impacts on from COVID, it's been fantastic, because what we're seeing is this is the best time, and I hate to use the current situation to be very happy about where we're heading, but we've had more inquiries because folks are working remote, right? When they work remote, our space, we are in the best space right now to really take advantage of helping folks, be remote, but still be productive, right? So really our business has increased because of COVID. And again, it's the right time to be in this business. I've spoken to several partners who have really lost a lot of business because folks have gone out of business, but at the same time, they've increased their new client base. So it can work both ways.
Okay, great. Next question here from a current reseller who wants to know, why would I sell 3CX instead of the NetSapiens platform?
Yeah, great question. So one of the things that I always say, when I was working at 3CX is, we had partners who had Mitel Avaya, and then, why would I bring in 3CX? So same situation. Why would I sell 3CX when I have NetSapiens? Well, you want to have an opportunity to maybe put two proposals in front of them, right? Because, if the proposal or the requirement goes towards features and functionality, right, and call center and such, it may lean towards 3CX. If you're looking at one where it's like, hey, I need a very quick down and dirty install for maybe 5 or 6 users, but I need it done in an hour, that's NetSapien side. So having both, I think, really helps you out. Two, I think, when you take a look at the ROI models, if you're looking at, 20 and below, the needle moves towards the NetSapien side. If you're looking at maybe 25 and above, it leans towards 3CX because of how 3CX does their licensing, where you buy the license, it gives you unlimited capabilities of adding as many extensions as you want to, but you're limited to the simultaneous calls. So again, if I were to take that individual who asked that question and run them through our calculator, I think that's probably the best way I can say, hey, here's the plus and minuses of both. The plus and minuses of both, really quick for those that don't know. With 3CX, you're going to need a license. You need a hosting resource. You'll need a SIP trunk from SkySwitch and Telco, right? Versus a NetSapiens, you go in there and you add the domain, you add the user seat, and you're up and running in less than 5 minutes, right? You don't need a hosting component. You have unlimited call paths. You don't need a license, and it's multi-tenant, so you can add and remove things as needed, right? So again, plus and minuses on both sides, but if I were in business, I would have both in my pocket, present your case to the client and see which direction. If they end up saying, hey, I want, these many features, and I need, hot desking and things of that nature, you got that covered with 3CX. But if they say, hey, I'm really looking at it from a cost perspective, then you have NetSapiens.
Okay, and wondering if you could clarify for us, does SkySwitch host the 3CX platform?
Yeah, so great question there. So we have resources to host 3CX instances, right? But I'll be honest with you, with the evolution of AWS Lightsail and others that are out there, where you can get 3CX hosted very inexpensively, as cheap as $3 a month, and then now you have 3CX hosting smaller licenses, and then of course they're offering on-premise on their Pi. A good majority of what we do is more focused towards telco than hosting, because you got to look at it from a partner that's done real well outside of SkySwitch wanting to come into the SkySwitch ecosystem. They pretty much have their hosted resources down packed, right? So they don't really need us to host. Now, at the end of the day, if they're like, hey, we need your help on hosting, and we would like to do that with you. Yeah, we have resources that do that, but a good majority of what we're seeing is are very experienced 3CX partners that say, hey, I'm going to keep my instances in my current environment, and we'll just use your telco going forward.
All right, I think that should wrap up today's webinar. We've made a lot of ground here. Big thank you to Ben, to the entire SkySwitch team, and of course to all of you for attending today's event and for the great questions. To access this webinar on demand, please head over to channelvisionmag.com/webinars. Also keep an eye out for a follow-up email from Channel Vision. Thanks, stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.